those are our next steps. So what we're doing now is we're going to complete the other 50% of the mapping and sampling for the rock geochemistry. Then we're going to run a soil program to collect soil geochemistry in the soils where the rock's not outcropping. And then that's going to be followed up by both an IP survey and a ground magnetic survey.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Dan Simons. He is the CEO of C3 Metals. And Dan, good to have you back again. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so the company out with a news talking about an update on the Khaleesi Copper Gold project. So let's remind everyone a bit about the project itself, and then more importantly, what's going on.
Sure, absolutely. So at Khaleesi, it's one of the main reasons that over between 2020 and 2023, we were as quietly as we could expanding our mineral concession footprint in southern Peru. We started with 57 square kilometers. We're now up over 300 square kilometers, so quite a package. And a big part of that was expanding to the west to pick up Khaleesi, which is in a very well-known world-class copper belt where you have the Las Bambas mine operating and the Constancia mine operating, both less than 45 kilometers from us. Khaleesi sits pretty much in the middle of those along the same belt, and it's never been drilled, never been tested. We recently in August announced we got a community surface access rights agreement, which has really unlocked and paved the way for us to get in and start working in the area.
Yeah, and so Dan, basically this has been field work and a lot of surface mapping and things like that. And the crews have done a really good job in a short amount of time. So maybe highlight some of the things they've been able to do and what you've been able to sort of the details you've been able to glean from that work.
Yeah, sure. So we're working on an 1,800 hectare area right now at Khaleesi. And our goal is to do a initial surface mapping and rock sampling, which is very systematic. So we're not just selectively picking the rocks where we can visually see the copper. You're doing it on lines. We want to sample everything to get a good idea of the geochemistry. We're about 50% of the way through that now. And with that, we've now got our first batch of assays back from these rock samples. And we're seeing up to 2.8% copper, 6 grams gold, 57 grams silver, and 284 ppm molybdenum, which obviously is a key vector for porphyry style deposits in the area. So the initial results are very encouraging. The alteration footprint's well over a kilometer by a kilometer, so it looks like we have meaningful scale here. And we've noted that there's 3 different alteration and mineralization styles here between skarn, porphyry, and epithermal. So all the ingredients are here for quite a big system.
Yeah, and Dan, because it's such a large property, is that where something like doing IP work and things like that and flyovers that would be really beneficial in this particular one?
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. Those are our next steps. So what we're doing now is we're going to complete the other 50% of the mapping and sampling for the rock geochemistry. Then we're going to run a soil program to collect soil geochemistry in the soils where the rock's not outcropping. And then that's going to be followed up by both an IP survey and a ground magnetic survey. And those geophysical tools will be able to show us where things are dipping underneath and show us those fluid pathway channels below the surface. And that's all happening in advance of drilling, which we anticipate will take place in the second half of next year. So today, you have the rock sampling and mapping going on this quarter, Q1 soil, Q2 we'll get into the geophysics, and then we'll be ready to drill.
All right, it's going to be a busy one for sure. Dan, thanks so much for updating us on what you're up to, and we look forward to our next conversation, okay?
I appreciate it. Thanks, Steve.
All right, there's Dan Simons. He's the CEO of C3 Metals.